On this day, June 23rd, 1898, the Presbyterian Church lost one of its towering theological minds, Rev. Dr. John Lafayette Girardeau, 1825 to 1898. A faithful pastor, esteemed theologian, and defender of Reformed orthodoxy, Girardeau's life represents a critical link between old-school Presbyterianism and the theological challenges of the post-Civil War South. Born in Charleston, South Carolina, to Huguenot and Scottish ancestry, Girardeau was shaped early by the rigor of Reformed theology and the pastoral demands of ministry in a divided nation. He was educated at Charleston College and later Columbia Theological Seminary, where he came under the influence of Southern Presbyterian leaders like James Henley Thornwell and John B. Adger. Ordained in 1855, Girardeau began his most famous pastoral charge at Zion Presbyterian Church in Charleston, an African-American congregation where he preached to over 1,500 black congregants, many of whom were enslaved. His ministry broke racial barriers and showed a rare commitment to theological education and spiritual care for the marginalized in antebellum society. Following the Civil War, Girardeau was called to serve as professor of didactic and polemic theology at Columbia Theological Seminary, where he taught from 1875 until his death. His students remembered him as a man of brilliance and integrity, combining rigorous Calvinist theology with warm-hearted pastoral concern. Girardeau's theological work was anchored in Reformed orthodoxy and often polemical, defending the doctrines of grace against the rising tide of Arminianism and liberalism. His most influential book, Calvinism and Evangelical Arminianism, 1890, remains one of the clearest expositions of the differences between Reformed and Arminian theology in American thought. In it, Girardeau argued passionately for the sovereignty of God in salvation, total depravity, and the effectual nature of divine grace. He also authored Instrumental Music in the Public Worship of the Church, 1888, defending the tradition of exclusive psalmody and a cappella singing, echoing the practices of the early Reformed churches and calling Presbyterians back to what he saw as biblical simplicity and reverence in worship. Today, Girardeau lies in the graveyard of historic First Presbyterian Church in Columbia, South Carolina, where his tombstone stands as a testament to a life devoted to faith and learning. And so, as the voices of a new generation rise in chorus, they echo the teachings of Rev. Dr. John Lafayette Girardeau. Through them, his voice carries on, a beacon for those who continue to walk in the paths he once tread.